only used to happen now and then. That they'd get this whole stadium filled like this. They got these people out all the time. They were very, very popular. No doubt about it back then. As we see the Kerry again going in. Now he's tagging in his brother. Is he not wearing boots?
Yeah, that's very different, isn't it?
I didn't remember him like that. I've got to say, in the matches I've seen him, he normally does wear boots, but yeah. And Von Erichs were all very skillful in their own right. I mean, I think Kerry obviously always gets remembered because he kind of was the one that made it into WWE, but their older brother, who sadly passed away before this even, was considered the best of the bunch. Everyone felt like he was going to be the first NWA heavyweight champion, but it unfortunately didn't work out like that. Kevin was definitely a sound wrestler, and then they had another two brothers as well. So this was of course their dad was a wrestler, Fritz Von Erich. He'd kind of come into it as well, and he was. I guess Fritz was very much like a Stu Hart kind of promoter. There you go. There's a picture of the shaver itself. Could happen. Yeah. But yeah, it was. They all had great ingredients to be wrestlers. The problem, I mean, the good thing for them, what helped their territory really, was the fact that they never had to worry about these wrestlers being snapped up by another territory because they were a family. So if you had families similar to the Hearts in Calgary, you knew you were going to be safe. Though you'd put everything into them, they'd be the popular ones. Whereas other promotions, you couldn't guarantee that. You might have these guys looking elsewhere, and your champion goes, and you're in a bit of stuck. But with having your own blood, it's a huge advantage when the promoter's the dad, and he can kind of make up. His own stars as he goes along. As you see, Chris Adams going straight to that turnbuckle. Early impressions of the match, Matt, tag team. I mean, there's a lot going on in this, I know, but early impressions of what you've seen.
Yeah, pretty good, I think, actually. We like you're saying, we all know that the Von Erichs are a great sort of wrestling family, so you wouldn't expect anything less from guys like them. But the thing that's kind of niggling at the back of my mind is, like, I like to watch matches like this, and I like to sort of be surprised. But I'm thinking, do we kind of know who's going to win this already? Do some people have more iconic hair than others?
Yeah, I think we know the way that's going to go for sure. I think people would have. Rioted if it wasn't. That's for sure. That hair goes. That's definitely part of them. But like I say, I mean, this was. Again, you're talking about where are we at now? 1985. So, like, this is the same year, Matt, of WrestleMania. Think about it like that. From WrestleMania 1, this is in October, so this is after WrestleMania, and these guys are still going at it. Like, they know that the company knows that Vince is trying to snap up all these different promotions, but this and the AWA are kind of the last remaining ones out there. Calgary's already been snapped up by this point, Stampede Wrestling, so they're drawing houses well, but it was purely because of the Von Erichs' popularity. I think that it sort of stayed that way, but it does make you wonder how far they could have gone. Had the WWF not have just sort of got everything towards the end. It makes you wonder how much this, because this was Fritz opened this I think in the 1950s, so a lot of history had gone on up until this point. Kerry Von Erich, certainly agile as well for a big guy of his size. See that Chris Adams coming in, then Kevin Von Erich gets involved. I think the pace as well, I think everyone would be in agreement that the pace here was a lot quicker than what was going on in WWF at the time. It was certainly a lot faster You know.
Yeah, it's strange though, isn't it? Because you always associate like WWF with the premier kind of wrestling, but at this time they were kind of a little behind the curve of other promotions like this. When they were actually...
Well, I think when you go in, they were definitely looking at Hogan and that whole style with, you know, him and Mr. T and up against you know, Piper and Orndorff and all the rest of it. You know, it's a completely different thing to this, for sure. When you look at the two promotions, so yeah, I think in style wise, this would have been my style. You know, this is what I would have preferred to have watched if I was back then.
There was that signature punch that we'd all come to know.
Oh yeah, it's back. It's where it come from. I prefer Kerry doing it. But yeah, this can't imagine how many what sort of attendance this would have got. It's certainly quite big back then, but this stadium used to get filled out so much. Like I know that there's a lot of empty back at the back then, but you look at the tops of some of this, it's like, you know, just for a territory. I mean, WWE is worldwide. People are coming from all over the world, but I'm talking about just this one territory kind of filling out that much. It's quite a feat when you think about it. You know how popular territories were back then. See some more use of the chairs going on.
And they're just not just like normal chairs, are they?
No, they're not those nice sort of blue. I mean, that one's not even folded. God, blimey, that's all you'd want. So the Pride of Hair, which would be, I mean, as far as a gimmick match, the hair match has been used quite a lot, Matt, in loads of different eras, hasn't it? Certainly never not. I mean, I can't remember the last one that we had, but I'm sure it wasn't that long ago. I know that Edge has Edge gone through that before? CM Punk, I remember.
It was Edge versus Kurt Angle for hair versus. That's why Kurt Angle wore that stupid wig thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. And almost that's what you call the pins, you know, that with the roll ups, the false finishes that were so common now. That's what you call them back then.
It's good that you said that though, because just sort of jogged my memory that I do remember quite fondly hair versus hair matches, quite a lot of them, because they do stick in your mind. Like CM Punk as well went through it, didn't they?
Yeah, how about Vince McMahon himself with Donald Trump, very much in the news these days. Sure, can't forget that. Yeah, I think WrestleMania 20 we had a women's one as well, where it was wasn't it? Was it? I can't remember who that was now. Was it Molly Holly? I believe.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, it was Molly. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's certainly gone on for a long time. It's something that's never got sort of old. It's I don't know whoever first come up with it, but certainly stood the test of time, hasn't it? That kind of match. For some reason, it has an appeal for people to see it happen.
Probably due another one soon.
Yeah. Trying to think, maybe Roman Reigns for everybody would like that, wouldn't they? They'd love that. I can imagine it being some poor guy though, like Tyler Breeze or something.
Yeah. Oh, you never know. Maybe they'll escalate the Roman Rusev view to it.
Yeah. Forget Hell in a Cell. They got bigger. See a few almost finishes there. As Kevin there coming back with this. See, this wrestling, I feel, I don't know what you think about it, but just from watching this, is the most similar to what we see today. I don't know what you think about that, but I think it's the most similar, and yet this is a long time ago. But compared to the evolution of the WWF at the time, it was full of old sort of big guys, the giants, I guess. The WWF was very much considered the land of the giants, but this is much more of what we're used to. Of the evolution, I think, probably came more from this than it did the WWF itself, which is kind of weird to think about. But if you go back to WrestleMania 1 to about 4, the pacing is so different unless you're watching like the British Bulldogs or something. And there's a thing that we've seen a lot. The powder sprayed in the face. You go, the white powder itself.
That stuff went everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's supposed to be aimed at one specific person.
did go everywhere. But we're seeing a lot of action going on. The referee definitely has lost control of this. I'm not sure about who's supposed to be in the ring or what. Kevin's in the corner trying to get all that out of his face. Sorry, Kerry's in the corner, and that's just used again. There, Kerry's got a roll up, and is that the win? There, it's got to be the win. I was going to say it seemed like a 4 count, and everyone is over the moon with that.
They didn't waste any time, did they? The table would come straight in the ring.
Yeah, that table was straight in. No messing about. Let's get it done quick. And so this is obviously, I mean, again, this would have been a feud that had gone on for a while between, the Von Erichs and these two, because Gino and Chris Adams were known predominantly as single wrestlers, but they kind of got together, united, to go against the Von Erichs, and this would have been the sort of payoff, one of the payoff matches that they would have had. So that is why everybody would have absolutely, loved what the end result would have come to this moment, just to see Chris Adams and Gino Hernandez lose their hair. What it would have been about as we. So now, what is this? The wrestlers are holding them down. This is an interesting way of doing it, isn't it? So there's a snip of it. No, it's really not going anywhere here. So this is the way it gets done. Wouldn't you have thought they would have been? I mean, scissors look so dangerous.
Yeah, I was expecting some clippers.
Yeah,
or
that's
something.
what I thought we were going to get clippers, but no, they're going to use this for now. They're all taking chunks out of it. It's like a bit of a celebration after every hair goes up to the audience. I think we're all used to just using that the clippers as they as what's used now. So it's like all the wrestlers are getting a turn here to go up and take a bit of hair off and celebrate with it. It's like a moment.
They're all day doing it that way, won't they?
Yeah, it could be a very lengthy process if we carry on at this rate. They are all enjoying it. And now, what is that? Kerry's going to get a go, I'm guessing. Now he looks like he's actually got the main thing here. I think that's all going to go off. Straight down the middle. That'll look the best on it.
Definitely giving him the Hulk style now.
Yeah. Yeah, Road Warrior style is coming. What a fashionable look that looks. So, Matt, whilst this is going on, because I've got a feeling this is going to take a while for our listeners to get through here, but your impressions of maybe, I'm not sure if this is the first time you would have come across WCCW, but first impressions of seeing this territory and what we just saw in general.
Yeah, this is probably the first time I've seen this territory actually, and actually, I actually like it. Actually, I think it's really good. And like I said, it is the most modern kind of up to date one we've seen, and probably not in terms of years, but it is in terms of what we see today. And they did have an emphasis on the entertainment side of things. And as much as I like quality wrestling, I do like the fact that when wrestling incorporates the entertainment side of it. I do like it when it plays up to the fans. And matches like this, they're always going to be onto a bit of a winner here, because everyone likes to see someone getting their hair shaved off, I guess, against their will. Why not,
Yeah, now there's a lot of fans down here, but I'll tell you, these fans look a lot more friendlier than the Puerto Rican fans that we saw at the start.
Oh, yeah.
Oh dear.
I'm not sure how a hair versus hair match would go down in Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
that'd be enough. No, chop his head off.
See an axe come out, don't you? See an executioner. Get that done. Well, now poor old I can't work out who's who at the minute. But he definitely ain't going to get away from this. These officials look absolutely dead serious. So it's poor old Gino now is in there, now he's going to get his chance. But yeah, as you say, Matt, I think this is the closest that we've seen to present day wrestling that we've seen